Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gigi. So we're going to be doing the second task, that is databases, in our Feb-March 2024 IGCSE ICT. The code is 0417 and we're doing paper 2. Alright, so the document production number is already done. You can check out the link in the description. Alright, so databases task 3. You're now going to prepare some reports. Make sure all currency values display the same currency symbol. So all currency values should display the same currency symbol. Okay, that's important. And then they are set to 2 decimal places. So they should be in 2 decimal places as well. Okay, so examine the file CO2 games and identify the most appropriate field to set as the primary key. So it means you're not given the primary key. We're going to have to determine it by ourselves. Okay, so we're going to have to determine by ourselves by examining this file. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open it up, and then we see how to determine the primary key. Remember, a primary key is a unique field. It's a unique field which doesn't have any duplicates. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. I'm going to open up my source files here. The file name is CO2 Games. There we go. So here we are. Let me expand all the columns like that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use conditional formatting. They now select highlight cell rows. They now choose duplicate values. So when I do this, it's going to show me every record that has duplicates, and it's going to be shaded in red. All right. Now, the one that doesn't have any shade, it means it is not having any duplicates. And in our case, it's going to be our primary key field. So if you look around here, you can see that it's only game code doesn't have any duplicates in it. So it's going to be our primary key. All right. All the way down, there's no red in it. So that is our primary key. And that is how you can examine the file and determine the primary key by using conditional formatting. You highlight the cell rows and then you select duplicate values. Okay. That's how you do it when the spreadsheet is all selected up. All right. So game code is our primary key. So close it. Do not save. Okay. Do not save it. So we go. Using the database software, import the file CO2 games and use these field names and data types. Now remember, game code is our primary key. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my database. I'm using Microsoft Access and I'm going to do that from my work area. So I'm going to open up my work area. I'm going to right click. I'll select new and I'll choose Microsoft Access database. So I don't need to change the name. This is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up real quick. I can enable content and then I can now go ahead and import the file. So importing the file, you go to external data, new data source, from file, and you choose text file. So when you choose that, you have to browse exactly where the file is. Mine is on the desktop, all over here. And the file name is called CO2 Games. Okay, so CO2 Games is this. I'll open and I click OK. Gets captured. Next. Then I need to separate the field names from the records, right? So I'll select first row contains field names and the separation will be done for you here. Then I'll go to advanced to set the data types. So our data types here, we're being told that game title is text. So in this case, it's going to be short text here. All right. And then release year is a number in an integer format, but with 0 decimal place. Okay, we shall leave it a long integer. We shall set the decimal places in design view. Then gen code up to game publisher, all those should be short text. Yes, they are. Okay. And then price is number or currency. It's in a decimal, but we have to change it 2 decimal places. Now it's going to be showing double here, meaning it's a decimal, so leave it the way it is. Then console type and platform should be short text. Yes, they are. Then global cells, it's a number in a decimal format with two decimal places. It's also showing double. I'm going to leave it like that. And then rank is a number in an integer format with zero decimal place. We shall change that in design. So I'm going to leave it as a long integer. So just check out and make sure everything is okay here. Make sure your date order is DMY. Now click OK. Next, next. Now remember our primary key was game code. So I'll select game code here as our primary key. So I'll click next and I'll finish. All right, so I don't have any import error. It means I have successfully imported the table into my database. So here we are. This is all the records. Now we need to go to design view and we change the format of some of these fields. All right, so I'm going to go to design view. I'll right click here. I'll go to design view. Then I'm going to look for, the first one is release year. So release year here, it's supposed to be decimal place 0. So I'm going to put 0 here. I'll leave the rest as is. And then price is a currency with two decimal places. So price, the format will be currency. The decimal places are 2. Okay. And then global sales is a number with two decimal places. So global sales here, we shall just change the decimal places to 2. And then the rank is 0 decimal places. So rank here, decimal place, 0. All right, let's see how it looks like finally. So I'll click view. I'll say yes to save changes. And this is how it looks like. As you can see, global sales, we're told global sales has two decimal places. However, when you look around, you see that some didn't get the two decimal places. So we're going to change the field, the format as well to be fixed so that we get a decimal place. All right, as you can see, this doesn't have it. It has only one decimal place and this, but the rest have. So we need to change it to fix so that the decimal place appears. And then as you can see, the currency symbols also came up. So we're good here. All right, and rank is also good. So we're changing global sales. Back here, I'm going to go back to design view. Then global cells here, two decimal places, just making sure. Okay, two decimal places. However, the format, I'm going to change it to fixed right here. So when I go back to my table view, you should see that the decimal place is now there. They're all two decimal places. All right, so it's always good to check out the imported file after changing the formats to see that every format you change for that table is effective and it is active. All right, so here we are. Everything looks good. Moving on. So this is done. That is done. Set the identified key as a primary key. We did that. Save the data and then take a screenshot to show your field names and the data types that you used. Okay, so I'm going to go design view. This is the screenshot I need. All right. I'll select that, only that area. Then now open up my evidence document. It's already made here, and I'm putting that in step 11 of the evidence document. Step 11, just right here. And there we go. If it doesn't fit, it's okay. You can always extend it to the next page. All right. There we go. Step 12. Import the file CO2 classifications as a new table in your database. Let's do that. So this is done. Same procedure. From file, text file, browse. Now looking for CO2 classification. So it's this. Open. OK. Next. First row contain field names. Do we have any data types? Use the field names and data types provided. So we're not changing anything here. All right. So I'm just going to check here. These are the provided. Don't change anything. The date order remains the same. Click OK. Next, next. And I'm told that the primary key is age code. So here, I'll change this to age code as my primary key. So next, and I can finish. When I close, check it out, and this is what it has. Okay, this is what it has. All right. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names and data types and the primary key used in the table. Okay, let's do that as well. So I'll go design view of this table, get my screenshot, only that area, and then I'll go below to step 12 in my evidence document and I'll place my screenshot. There we go. Next, step 13, import the file CO2 genre as a new table in your database. Use the field names and data types provided. We're not changing any there. Set the gen code as the primary key, and then you can take a screenshot of your field names and the data types that you have there. All right, so I'm importing CO2 genre, so I can close this. Yes to save changes. External. So I am importing CO2 genre. It's right here. Open. Okay. Next. Pass row. Just check here. Make sure everything is good. Next. Next. And we're told that the primary key is gen code. So gen code, it is selected for us. I'll click next and finish. All right. Close. So I can go design view of this, and this is the screenshot that I need. There you go. That is step 13. There we go. Put some space here. Okay. So they're not so squeezed together. Maybe even somewhere here. Okay, that should be fine. All right, moving on. Step 14, create a one-to-many relationship links between gen code in the genre table, okay, and gen code in the games table. That is our first link. Let's do that. So, close this. Database tools, relationships. Apply all the tables like that. So we have the first link as gen code in the genre table to gen code in the games table. So genre to this. So this is linking to that. And it must be a one-to-many. So gen code in the genre table to gen code in the games table. All right, there we go. Click create. You have that. That's our first link. The next one is age code in the classifications table and age code in the games table. So age code here to age code here. All right, click and point. Make sure it's the one-to-many and create. So there we go. So our first screenshot is going to be this, and then we're going to take two more to show the relationship types. That's the first. Then I'll need this to show the relationship types. There we go. And then I'm going to put it just below here. And then I'm going to get another. Click OK here, get another here. And I'm also going to capture that. And just put it either next to that or below that, whichever you want to use. So let me have them together like that. Okay, those are my relationships. Okay, you get the full marks when you show this. Moving on. So this is done. 15. Add the following as a new record in the games table. So in the games table, I can close this. I make sure I save, and I'll go to the games table here. Now they want me to add a new record. All right. So there are two ways. You can scroll all the way down, or you can click this button here. All right. Open for you a blank record, or you could go to what is that table? Is it? All right. I can't see what I need here. Yeah, I don't see what I need. All right. So you can just go select this, open for a blank record here. Then you can now type this manually. All right. So I'm going to highlight and paste to save time, but you have to do that manually in the exam because you have the question paper physically with you there. There we go. Make sure that you type the record exactly like how it looks in the question. Check your data entry for errors and save the data. So I don't think I have any errors here. Creation arts, Dr. Thomas. Yep, got that. Yeah, everything looks good. So I'll go ahead and click save to save the record. So that is done as well. Using fields from all the three tables, produce a tabular report. Now, the moment you see a tabular report or production of a tabular report, you must create a query first. A query will help you to filter out all the fields and the records you need, and then you can use that query to create the report. So always create a query first before you make a report. So what we have here, they're telling us that we're going to show only the fields. These are the fields we're going to show in our report. So basically, they're the only fields you're going to have in the query. All right. Then after doing that, we're going to do what you call the sorting or the selection. All right. So I'll close this. So we go ahead and create a query. I'm going to say create query design. I'll add the tables like that. Make sure all the data is visible. Then the field names I need are game title, genre, and age. So game title, uh, genre should be here, and then age category and release year. Age category, release year should be somewhere here. Yep, release year. They should be in that order. Console type and rank. Console type and then rank in that order. Okay, in that order, as you can see, in this order, with data and labels displayed in full. Do not group the data. We shall see what this means. All right, so you can run your query. As you can see, all the data is visible. You can go back to design view, and now we need to do the selection. So in our criteria, on the console type, they want uh, to filter out the text Cyrus, but it begins with the text Cyrus. So basically, what it means under console type here, where's that? Console type here. They want any console type record that begins with the word Cyrus or with the text Cyrus. The keyword here is begins with. You need to be careful with these words here. Begins with. Sometimes in the question they tell you the console type has the text Cyrus. So that's different. But this one begins with. So we're going to use the wildcard search. But this time around, we're going to put the asterisk at the end. So it'd be Cyrus star. So when you run that, it's going to bring out every word that begins with the word Cyrus. If I put it at the beginning, it means every word is going to end with the word Cyrus. If I put the two stars together at the beginning and the end, it means every instance of the word Cyrus in the sentence is going to be selected. So let's see how it works. So console type here, in design view, console type, under the line of criteria, I'll type Cyrus, and I put an asterisk at the end. So when I run, you should see that everything begins with the word Cyrus on console type. Cyrus, 360, and all that, and all that. Okay, if they wanted Cyrus at the end, I'll put the asterisk at the end here in design view. No, at the beginning, and then every letter, every sentence there will be ending with Cyrus. But you want at the beginning, so you put the asterisk at the end. All right, next, release year is 2010 or later. Let's understand this thing. Release year is 2010 or later. What does that mean? Meaning you're going to say in the release year, let me first run. So release year here, they need 2010 itself and anything later than 2010. So meaning 2010 and something greater than that. All right. So I'll go back to design view here. Release year, I'll say greater than or equals 2010. All right. So if I run, you'll see that I get the 2010 itself and every year after 2010. That's what they mean by release year be 2010 or later. If they wanted it differently, maybe they could have said 2010 or before. So later is after, before is the other one. All right. So it's good to always understand these analogies. Okay. There we go. Sort the data in ascending order. Now I'm going to do this from the query. We're not doing that from the query, no. We're going to be doing it from the report. So I can close this. I'll click yes, and I'll name that as maybe our PT1, which is report 1. You can save it in whichever way you want. Okay, so all this is going to be happening in the report. It can't happen in the query. So our query is ready. Let's use it for the report. So I'll select it like that. I'll select create. Then I'll choose report wizard. I need all the records in this order, so I'll select all. Next. Now, grouping is whereby you have your records looking like this, or your field names looking like this. All right. So they don't want the grouping. You have to select, another table so that it is not grouped. That's what I mean by do not group your data. Okay. So never have it looking in this way. Always make sure every field is in the same line. So click next. Next. I told you you're going to do that from the report. Next. So we have this orientation being portrait. Okay. Portrait in tabular. Never change that as well. Fits on a single page. Okay. We shall see if it fits on a single page. And then includes only the title latest Cyrus console game. So let me just copy this real quick and I'll paste it as my title. So this is where the title is. I'll put it right there. So I can preview the report or can modify depending on what you want. So let me first see how it looks like. Tap finish, and this is how it looks like for now. But you need to do some adjustments so that all the field names are in order or the spacing is consistent. And as you can see, it is fitting on a single page. Though there may be like 2 pages here, but it's one single page. All right, portrait page, sorry. So I'm going to close the print preview and I'm going to use, okay, let me use the design view to put the rest of what I need in here. So this is done. Okay. So in the exam, you can have a pencil and you keep putting a small tick on what step you have completed. So it's easy for you to track your progress of which part you've completed and which part you have not completed. So I accidentally highlighted this, but I know that I need to sort the data in ascending order of rank. So I'll select rank here. Then I'll go to, okay, even I don't select it, it's fine. I can go to group and sort. Then I'll say add a sort. Then I choose rank. All right. Now rank is now ascending order of rank. So meaning smallest to largest. So that sorting is done. All right. I can close that. Then what else? Has my name, center number, and candidate number in the report. So I'm not told if I should put it in the header or the footer. So I'm going to assume that it's going to be down here in the page footer. So I'm going to eliminate this. This is the date and this is the page numbers in the report view. So they're not needed. You can take them off. So I'll get this AA for the label. I'm going to put it just here. Then I'll put my name, center number, and then my candidate number. Okay. You can make it a bit bold so it stands out when it's printed. Make it a bit black. That's all. I think that's fine. Even the title as well, you can make it a little bit black. We're not told to do that, but you can do that for print out purposes. So this is also done. And now I need to do the arrangement. This is all done. This is all done. Now I need to do the arrangements. How I'm going to do it from what I like doing it from the layout view. Here, I like doing it from here. Makes my work easier. So I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard. Keep on extending those records so that they are not covering each other. Okay, you can use a few minutes to do this as long as your report comes out very perfectly. That is all you need. And as you're doing this, make sure you don't cut or you don't cover any record below. There we go. Ensure the spacing is consistent and never go beyond the dotted line. This as well right there. Now let's release here. Age category. A bit somewhere here. And this is somewhere here. Yeah. So I think the spacing is consistent enough. Yep, there we go. And there we have that. All right. So let's go to print preview and we see how our report is going to be looking like. So here we go. And as you can see, it is one single page. Okay, it is on one single page, meaning we've got this right, fits on a single page. All right, so save and print your reports. I can close this, save, and that is my first report done. Okay. Yeah, just double checking, make sure. Yeah. So the rank is in ascending order. As you can see, smallest to largest. We're good to go here. So this report is done. Close it. The next is creating another report. And remember, we are using a query first. So using fields from the games table and the classifications table. So you're using only these tables here. Okay. Produce a tabular report that does that and that. So let's first see which fields are needed. So these are the fields needed. Okay. Now let me go ahead and create a query. Then we shall move along step by step. All right. So create query design. All right. So I need to select the tables here. It picked up RPT1 because the one selected here. So you could change and choose a table. All right. To have that when you're doing the query design. So I need game title, age category. So I'm using games table and classifications table. So games and classifications. There we go. All right. So what do I need from them? I need game title, age category. So game title, age category, and then global sales and game publisher. Global sales and game publisher. Um, console type, price. So console type here. Now we don't have the price. The price is going to be, oh, we have the price. It's the sales, which is going to be a new field that we're going to create. So you can select price uh, here. And now we need to create a new record called sales. But even though you look here, you can't find it. It's not part of this. And you're told to create a new field called sales. All right, so we're going to create it. So it's called sales underscore percentage. Now you can click here. You can use builder or you can type the formula from here, whichever you want. So let me use builder. The name is sales. No, click on this. Sales underscore percentage. Put a full colon there. Never forget that. Put a full colon there. So what is the formula? It's going to be, all right, let's read through. Contains a new field called sales, which is calculated at runtime. This field will display the percentage sales for each game in this selection. The total number of games sold was 354. So you're going to use global sales divided by 354. So we're going to type global sales divided by 354. So global sales, global underscore sales divided by 300. Let me just get that right. Was it 354? 354. That is the formula. All right. So when you click OK, it will appear for you here. All right. So when you run, you see that it has been calculated to that kind of figure. Okay. So this is done. Oh. Then multiplied by 100. Oh, wow. I had forgotten about it. Sorry about that. So we need to multiply it by 100. Okay. So just add asterisk and then 100. Then you can run again. And there we have it. There we have it. Yeah. So always read the question to the last step. So there we go. This is done. Format this field to display with two decimal places. All right, as you can see, it has a lot of decimal places. You don't format it to decimal places. You have to do this from the design view. So go back design view, right click in the formula itself. You can right click and select properties, or you can use property sheet, whichever you want to use. So properties, you have this, and we're told it is going to be, it's going to display with two decimal places. If you remember at the beginning, we also told everything should be in two decimal places. So here we are, two decimal places right there. The format does not change. Yeah, the format doesn't change. Okay, good. So I can take that off. And let me see how it works now. So if I run, there we go. Is that two decimal places? Did I miss out something? Let me see real quick here. Property sheet, decimal place 2. Okay. Now I'm going to change the format to fixed so that I can actually get the two decimal places. So format, I'm going to change it to fixed here. Let me see how it works. There we go. So now we have the two decimal places. All right. Before it wasn't, it was a bunch of numbers, but now we have the two decimal places. That's how you change that. So if you do that and it doesn't actually work out, you can change the format to fixed. All right. Then the decimal place is going to work. Okay. Moving on. Now we need to do the selection. So game title includes the text Thomas. So game title should include the word Thomas. All right. So in game title here, I'll put the asterisk at the beginning. I'll type the word Thomas. Is that an H? No, it's just Thomas. Okay. So there we go. Close the asterisk. First to run to ensure everything is there. So we have some Thomas in there in every word here. So yeah, we're okay here. Then now 55 records. And then another selection is age code is C3 or C7. Age code is C3 or C7. So wait, what was that? Age code. Oh, we don't have it here. So I have to add that field here. So age code is right here. So okay, let me see if it is active. The right is now active. So it is C3, C3, or just double check, make sure it's the right one, C7. Okay, C7. You can run, and there we go, C3, C7. That is perfect. Okay, and now they have shrunk to 42 records from 55. Okay, so that confirms that our query is ready for use in the report. Because I told you sorting is done from the report and the rest from here, from this point on, it's done in the report. All right, so our query is ready. I'm going to close it here. Click yes to save changes. I'll name it as RPT2, RPT2 or report2 or query2, whichever you want to name it, doesn't matter. So I'll select it. I'll click create. Then I'll choose report wizard. Now remember the order has to be exactly like this. So game title. All right, so game title, age category, global sales, game publisher, console type, game publisher, console type, price and sales, price and sales. So as you can see, age code is not needed. It was just for selection purposes. So you leave it out. So click next. There's no grouping here. This is grouping. This is no grouping. You need this. Besides, they tell you in the question, do not group the data. All right, so it's not grouped. Leave it the way it is. Next, next. Skip this part. I think it's going to be landscape. Yep, it is landscape. And then next, you can put the title here. So the title is going to be Junior Thomas Games. You just select it. There we go. And I can preview my report. So there we have that. All right, so this is done. So however, we're told the Junior Thomas Games title is displayed in a larger font size, fully visible at the top of the page. Very, very important. So I'm going to go to, I can use design view or layout view, whichever I want. So I'm going to select this from design view. I'll go to format. I'll make it black. I can make it bold, and maybe I can increase its font size to 24. Have it a bit right there. Okay. So I'm not told which alignment they need, but as long as it is fully visible in a larger font at the top of the page. So there it is. There it is. Now we can do the sorting. Let's do the sorting. So I'll click report design, then I'll select group and sort. So what am I sorting? I'm sorting ascending order of console type, then descending order of global sales. So ascending order of console type. So add a sort, console type with A on top. That's ascending. Then next is descending order of global sales. Add the sort, global sales. Then now this one should be largest to smallest. Okay, that's how you do that. Anything else needed here? Nope, that is okay. Calculates the average price and places this below the price column. All right, so we're going to calculate the average price and replace this below the price column. So I can close the sort here. This is the price column. Make sure it is the detail part you're going to be selecting. So click this text box right here. Go to totals, choose average. Okay, because you're told that we're looking for the average price and replace this below the price column. That is why we selected this and it is all the way down at the bottom right here. The formula is right here now. Okay, has the label average game price fully visible to the left of this value. So the left of this value, you're going to create a label and then we shall name it as we shall name it as we shall name it as average game price. So I'll select this. I'll click here, draw that right there, and I'll name it as let me just copy it and then I can just paste it right there. There we go. Okay, and then uh, we have to format this value as currency with two decimal places. Let's first see how it looks like right now. I'm going to go to view and all the way down. Here we are. I think it's already formatted as currency in two decimal places, but you can still emphasize that. So you can click in here, you go to property sheet, uh, format, so currency to decimal, so it's already there. Just have to be sure. Okay. Um. So this is fine. Okay, that is done. And then has your name, center number, and candy number in the footer of the report. So you could just do away with this. Okay, we're putting those in the page footer, not in the report footer, in the page footer. That's where you put your details. I'll put them on the left here. Put my name, center number, and my candidate number. All right, so you can also make it a bit black format. All right, don't have to make it bold. So there we go. Okay, now let's see how our report looks like. And I'm feeling we have to do some adjustments. So here we are. We're now going to do a little bit of some adjustments so that all the records are seen properly and the spacing is consistent. So I'm going to be using layout view to do that. Never go beyond the dotted line. Okay, maybe we can start from this side. So the spacing is not consistent enough. There we go. So, okay. So you can make sure every data is visible. There you go. A little bit of right there. Uh, just that. There's that. This is okay. Maybe. Okay. So I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to do the adjustments. Could actually hold down the control button and you select all at the same time and then you do the adjustments. But you're making sure that the report looks perfect with the alignments and the spacing consistent. I think this is fine. Yeah, this should be okay. Yeah, this is all right. Okay. Um, save and print your report. Place in the evidence document a screenshot showing the database formula used to calculate the average price. Okay, so they need this formula right here. I can only get it from design view. This formula right here. So you're going to get your screenshot and you capture this, right? You can include the caption as well, or you can just capture this, whichever you want. But I am going to ensure that the caption is also there, and I'm putting this in step 17 of my evidence document right here. Okay, this is fine. Some spacing there. So this is fine. So now I can go to the print preview. This is how it's going to be looking like. And it's only 2 pages. Yeah, 2 pages in a landscape format. Or maybe I can extend the price all the way just next to here because I thought I should be below. So these are the things you should check out before you print. Okay, I can even do that from layout view. Oh, there you go. Just I want you just right there. Maybe I can put it a little bit down, and this as well. Yeah, so let me check it out one last time. Print preview. That's the first page. That's the second page. Yeah, this is perfect. All right, this is perfect. Okay. All right, so that is how the database number was supposed to be done. Just make sure you've not left out anything. Everything is perfect, and you're now good to go. All right, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.